Is it better now? Okay, I'll wait. Now we see how long the delay is. Well, it was quick. I don't know. Are those fingers crossed or thumbs up? I can't tell. April just... Is this better than it was before? Can you hear me in this microphone? I'm whispering. Sounds good. All right, I'm going with Peter. Peter has proven himself to be a trustworthy lad. Thanks, folks. Sorry. Do you know what just happened? Here's what just happened. You know when you get in a plane and there's like 15 minutes of the pilot going through a checklist and you think, there's no what is he doing that for? Come on. I'm sure the flaps are fine. Let's go. Well, that's what I just did. I'm your pilot, and I listened to you, and I didn't go through the checklist, and I just took this bitch up in the air, and now we're all dead. That's right, because I crashed. You know why? Because I tried to cut corners. Just spent the last week with my kid, like, oh, you can't cut corners. And look at me. I cut corners. Why? Because I knew the show was late. It was going to start at 2. I figured let's start right at 2, and I jumped in. Didn't do all the things it needed to be. So thank you. Thank you for pointing it out. All right, good. I'm glad it's better. We went through everything, right? We explained to you what the show is. Current events driven, 4 quarters antecedently on this day. Birthdays is quarter 2. Deads are quarter 3. And then all the topics and stuff, that's quarter 4. All right, we went through all of that stuff. So let's not worry about it. And let's just keep going. I'm going to trust that most of you folks who were here for the first go around will be filing back into the chat room. Doing a head count. Peter's back. April's back. Barney's back. Joel's back. I don't see Byron back. I don't see him. I don't see Adam. Probably, well, those two, they're probably out fishing together. No, that ain't happening. Although I wish it would. All right. Come on, post in when you get to the chat room. We'll just move forward. All right, where were we? We were, I guess, just at the start of the show, right? This is an attempt by me to do a stream of consciousness for 2 hours. Those are just unfiltered thoughts on all the day's current events and everything that is sort of shaped what we understand about this day. Jen Hernandez is here. Okay, boys. Comb your hair. Jen's here. Get in front of your mirror. The ladies are present. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do after the show today? Here's what I'm going to do, because it's raining. It's like raining and gross thunder. I was hoping we'd get some good thunder during the stream. You know what I'm going to do with me and my broken thumbs? You know what I'm going to do? I think probably after the show. Oh, I can't. I got to have an ugly conversation with somebody. It's not ugly, but I'm afraid they're going to make it ugly. But it won't be ugly. It's not ugly. No, wait a second. It's not ugly. Never mind. I don't know why I said that. Then I got a good conversation too that I get to have. I have 2 conversations that I have to have on the phone. And then after that, I think I'm just gonna go to bed. I have useless thumbs. I can't do anything. I'm not even hungry. All right. Byron's back. Okay, very good. And it is better. I appreciate that. All right, so should we get started? Why not? Let's get started with today's High Noon Rant. I am Pugs Moran. It is the 15th day of March, year of our Lord, 2024. Some people call this day the Ides of March. We'll get to that in a minute. Ides of March. That was a vehicle. It was a band. It was a band from the 60s and 70s, the Ides of March. They did a song called Vehicle, which to this day has the most disturbing lyrics in the history of rock and roll. I don't know. I don't know if this gets the press that other songs with disturbing lyrics get, but if you don't know the lyrics to Vehicle by Ides of March, it's basically about a pedophile driving around picking up underage girls. The first lyric, the first thing that you sing in the song Vehicle is, I'm the friendly stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? I've got candy. I've got cookies. I'm a love machine. I'll take you to the nearest stop. What? That was okay in 19. I mean, I'm your vehicle, baby. Take you anywhere you want to go. Because I love you. It's a banging song. That's the unfortunate reality of it. It's a banging song. But the lyrics are like, wait, what? Wait, what is he saying? Is it up there with Winger's She's Only 17? Yeah, it's up there. Is it up there with the Beatles' You Better Run for Your Life, which is a song that John Lennon is singing to a girlfriend that he suspects of cheating on him. And he's decided he's going to murder her. She better run for her life, little girl. Some unforgettable, regrettable lyrics in rock and roll history. Times were different. It was okay. It was okay for a rock star to have sex with a 12-year-old. Why not? It's 1974. All right, so let's get into it. It is the 15th day, the Ides of March, year of our Lord, 2024. March 15th is the 74th day of the year. There's 291 more of these till the end of the year. Celebrate. Pete's out there in Fort Worth. He says the sun just came out in Cowtown. Clear skies after thunderclaps an hour ago. Yeah, it's not clear here yet. It's still, but the thunder. Whoa, we had big thunder about an hour ago as well. I was hoping that would carry on through the show because that's kind of cool, but I don't know. Looks like anyway. They say it's going to rain like forever, right? They've been calling for this rain for 3 days. It was supposed to be yesterday, and then nothing. Although I guess Frisco had a touchdown of a tornado. I don't know. Anyway, we got it today. They say it's going to go on forever, which is going to rain forever. I don't know. Maybe it'll clear up. You say it's sunny out there in Cowtown, so there is hope for the rest of us. All right, let's get started. This is Antecedently on This Day. This is the first quarter of the show. It's this day in history. Every bad DJ from the beginning of time has been doing some version of this day in history. Well, this isn't that. This is called Antecedently on This Day. It's fancier. Antecedently on this day, as already mentioned, 44 BC, the assassination of Julius Caesar takes place because today is the Ides of March. Of course, Caesar's famous words, we all know, et tu, Brute. Those are, of course, his last words, et tu, Brute, but they weren't his last words. His full last word was et tu, Brute. The fuck, dude? That's the full sentence, but I don't know, for historical reasons, they changed it. Et tu, Brute. The fuck, dude? On this day in 1783, in an emotional speech in Newburgh, New York, George Washington asks his officers not to support the Newburgh conspiracy. The plea is successful, and the threatened coup d'etat never takes place. What is the Newburgh conspiracy? This is one of the things we don't really cover in American public high school. But it's if you're fascinated by the life of George Washington, you should be, because the dude was a baller. The dude was totally cool. Wasn't a great politician. Like, he didn't really have the mind for all that stuff. But as far as a leader of men and the person that we needed at that moment in time, yeah, you couldn't do any worse than General George Washington. The Newburgh conspiracy was a plot among the highest ranking officers in Washington's Continental Army. They weren't getting paid. It was the end of the war. The war was ramping up. Looks like we were going to win, and nobody had been paid. So all of these officers had sort of rallied their troops to be pissed at Congress, and they were going to go into Congress and basically just take it over. It was just going to be a military coup d'etat because they weren't getting paid. It came down to one guy who had to make this speech to all of these generals and convince them, cool your jets, boys. We'll get this worked out. And that was George Washington, and he did it. He backed them all down with a speech because George Washington was that dude. All right, moving on. On this day in 1820, Maine is admitted as the 23rd U.S. state. Welcome to the party, man. I don't even know how to do a Maine accent. Like, a Maine accent is even like super, it's way heavier than a Boston, Massachusetts, but it's in that range. It's kind of like that. Welcome to the party, Maine. On this day in 1970, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia abdicates the Russian throne, ending 300 years of a Russian monarchy. That was see, okay, so look at that. Major historic sea change, right? So we had the assassination of Julius Caesar on this day, massive sea change. And then the fall of the Romanovs, and the entree to Leninist theory, which was, a corruption of Karl Marx, which we talked about the other day, but still two big things right there. There's a pattern. Today's a big day for power change. On the Ides of March, maybe that's why the Ides of March are like, there's the Ides of March. On this day, antecedently, in the year of our Lord, 1965, President Lyndon Baines Johnson, responding to the Selma crisis, tells the United States Congress, we shall overcome. That was a big move. It was a big move for him to say those words. It'd be like a president who you all think thinks one way, getting up today and go, Black Lives Matter. It's like that kind of thing. A lot of people were angry at him, but it certainly showed who he was. I'm not going to say where his mind was at because he's a politician, but it certainly shows where he was targeting his votes, you know? So whatever. History says he said it, and he did, and there you have it. President Lyndon Baines Johnson, we shall overcome. On this day in 1990, Mikhail Gorbachev is elected the first duly elected president of the Soviet Union. There you go. Another one of these power changes occurred on this day. Julius Caesar assassinated. The Romanovs abdicate the throne of Russia. And Gorbachev back in Russia doing more. First that glasnost, you know, remember that period of time where Gorbachev was like the communist guy, but then he went, maybe we should be more like America. And he took us in that direction. He took them in that direction. And so they elected him president. They're like, okay, this is a fair and legal election. You can be president. And he became president. And then like a year later, they're like, we don't like this. There's a drunk guy in St. Petersburg named Yeltsin who's hysterical. And they made Yeltsin president and they kicked Gorbachev off. But historically speaking, the world's going to look at Gorbachev and be like, yeah, that's the dude who did it. They just didn't appreciate it. Didn't happen fast enough, so they got rid of him, put him in exile. Gorby. On this day, antecedently in 2019, 51 people are killed in the Christchurch mosque shooting. That's in Christchurch, New Zealand? Yeah, it's New Zealand, right? It's not Australia. I mean, look. Trying to get me to draw some distinction between New Orleans and between New Zealand and Australia is like getting me to draw a distinction between Wisconsin and Minnesota. It ain't going to happen at the same place. But this was a bad one. Oh boy, this was an ugly one. This is one that's particularly memorable, the Christchurch shooting at a Muslim mosque, because this is the dude who live streamed it. Do you remember this guy? While it was happening, while he was running around in his car, he's live streaming. I remember watching it. I don't know that I was watching it live, but I know that I was within the moment. I was watching like clips of it, like while it was going on. Maybe it was live. I don't know. But he live streamed it and it was awful. And I watched it and I'm not a better person for having seen him walk into a mosque and just start shooting people as they stood in front of him. Pretty powerful, pretty awful stuff. All right, there you have it. That's it. Antecedently on this day, we ended on an absolutely awful note. It's a day of assassination, power changes, and ugliness. All right, let's move into the birthdays. Bonum, bonum, bonum. They claim it's their birthday. Bonum, bonum, bonum. I'll take them at their word. Born on this day in 1912, the poet laureate of Houston, Texas for 35 years. Died on this day. He's good old Texan. Famous guy. I remember he came across my Rolling Stone man. I used to be a Rolling Stone guy. First time I heard of this guy, because I'd never really heard of him. I was 23 or something. First time he made some Rolling Stone list of the 100 greatest artists of all time, and he was very highly ranked. And I'm like, who is this guy? Well, his guy is Lightning Hopkins. Now, Lightning Hopkins, my learning about him was before my embrace of American blues music, which I love. But Lightning Hopkins is certainly a very important figure. I believe he has sold more blues albums than anyone else in the history of blues. He was a guitar player, a singer, a songwriter, and like I said, lived his life down there in Houston, Texas, and the city made him their poet laureate for like 40 years. I don't know what that means, but it seems important. Lightning Hopkins, happy birthday. Born on this day in 1912. Born on this day in 1916. Here's another band leader. A lot of band leaders today. You're going to see. Today is a day where if you were born today, you should maybe go form a band, because there are a lot of lead singers and a lot of band leaders today. This guy, Harry James, born on this day in 1916. Harry James was a big band guy. He was, back in the days of like Benny Goodman and Tommy Dorsey and Glenn Miller and all. Well, Harry James was one of them dudes. Now, why is Harry James rememberable? Here's why. Harry James discovered Frank Sinatra. He didn't discover Frank Sinatra. Here's how that happened. Frank Sinatra was appearing in a contest. Imagine American Idol in 1939. Okay. So was it like 1939? I don't know, somewhere in there, whenever this happened. So imagine American Idol in the 1930s, except it's on radio, and these are all amateur singers. Well, Frank Sinatra was the winner of this American Idol-like contest. So I remember I used to always say that. Same with Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley got his break because he won something called the Barn Dance Showdown, which was a competition of performers. Anyway, point is this. When people used to say, American Idol, that's not how you make it. I'm like, oh, fuck you. That's how Frank Sinatra made it. That's how Elvis Presley got discovered. They were artists and musicians who participated in a talent contest and won. So you snobs talking like American Idol isn't real. I'm like, are you kidding me? These people are better. See, these are the best singers in America who aren't famous. What do you think? Everybody who can sing in America is famous? Stop it. Stop it. So Harry James, he hears about this kid who wins this contest on this New York radio show, and he approaches him at this little club where he's singing, and he says, look, how would you like to come on tour with me? Frank Sinatra was a kid. He's like, you're Harry James. Yes, please. Kind of like that Mark Wahlberg movie where he played the guy that replaced the Judas Priest guy. Remember that movie? That's kind of what it was. So because they had just lost their singer. Their singer had gone to Hollywood to try and make movies, so they were looking for somebody. So they bring in Frank Sinatra, and Frank Sinatra starts wowing him as the front guy for Harry James Orchestra. But Harry James didn't like the name Frank Sinatra. He wanted to call him like Johnny Satin or something. So he's like, hey, we're going to change your name to Johnny Satin. And Frank's like, hey, whoa, hold on, pod. You know, it became that whole thing. Even at like 20 years old, Frank's like, I ain't changing my name, dude. So Harry James said, I got a contract. And you're either going to change your name and you're going to perform under this name, or you ain't performing at all because I got a contract. And guess what Frank did? Frank sent some of the New Jersey boys over to Harry James backstage and said, I think you're going to let him out of this contract. I think you're going to be cool with it. And that's the start of the legend of Frank Sinatra. Harry James buckled. He's like, all right. These gangsters show up backstage telling me that Frankie Sinatra is going to be called Frankie Sinatra and not some stupid Johnny Satin or whatever it was. It was very shortly after that Frank Sinatra went and joined Tommy Dorsey, and that's where he would truly get recognized. But it's Harry James's birthday, and there you go. Born on this day in 1960, Harry James. Born 1916. Born on this day in 1933, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, RBG. She did. Born on this day in 1935, Jimmy Swaggart. I have sinned against you. Remember that? He's like, Jesus, you're a sinner, you're evil. And then he's jerking off in hotel rooms to like crack whores. Okay, that's your guy. Keep sending him your money every Sunday, Grandma. He's legit. Got to be a better judge of character, man. You people, not you people, because you people are obviously a fantastic judge of character. That's why you're here every day. I mean, people in general, you didn't look at Jimmy Swaggart and go, he doesn't seem Jimmy Swaggart is interesting, though. You know who his best friends growing up were? His best friends growing up were his cousins. Jimmy Swaggart and his two cousins. They ran around. They raised hell in the hills. They were total hillbillies. Jimmy Swaggart and his two cousins. Best of friends their whole lives. Those two cousins, Jerry Lee Lewis and Mickey Gilley. Oh, what? How does that family... That you're telling me that family who's living in like tin sheds in Appalachia or wherever the hell they're from, I'm not sure. But they didn't come from wealth. They're just coming from nothing. Down there, yonder near the holler. You know, they're that family. You're telling me that family within one generation produced cash machines like Jimmy Swaggart, Jerry Lee Lewis, and then a few years later, Mickey Gilley? Come on. That is... All right, moving on. Also born on this day. Now we're going to start out with a couple of guys from the past, but then we're just going to go on a run of frontmen, of lead singers who are having birthdays today. There is a crazy run, and I'll lead them off to you. But first, we're going to start with Mike Love. Mike Love, lead singer of the Beach Boys. Very well-known dickhead. That's basically the review on Mike Love as a human. Kind of a dick. Was really mean to Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson is the puppy that we all got from the shelter who was beaten, but man, is he an awesome dog. That's Brian Wilson. Mike Love was a dick. Mike Love was one of these guys that goes, there ain't no such thing as mental problems. You know, that was Mike Love. That's him. Mike Love destroyed the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys were awesome. They were cutting edge. They were fucking Radiohead. And then Brian Wilson was like, I can't do this anymore with these guys. And all of a sudden, Mike Love has them singing Help Me Miranda at presidential inauguration. I mean, they suddenly became really uncool when Mike Love decided, we're going to make money. We're going to do every concert we can. And Brian's like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to live in a sandbox in my living room because I wrote Pet Sounds. And then 6 months later, the Beatles released Sgt. Pepper's. And I was like, Pet Sounds was like the greatest rock and roll album anyone had ever heard for approximately 6 months. And then the Beatles put out Sgt. Pepper. That's what sent Brian Wilson into his tailspin. He was like, I can't do this. I can't compete. Anyway, Mike Love. Mike Love is having a birthday today, and honestly, he's kind of a D-bag. And he's Kevin Love, NBA player Kevin Love's uncle. But I don't know if Kevin Love's a D-bag, but Mike Love, kind of a D-bag. All right, now, the next guy celebrating a birthday today, another band leader. I've got a personal story about this guy because it's the wildest thing that I had ever seen. It is the birthday, born on this day in 1943, the great, the legend, the icon, the mysterious Sly Stone. I'm not Sylvester Stallone. I am talking Sly Stone of Sly and the Family Stone. This is a dude that history has not remembered, at least on Main Street. Like the Main Street of history, you walk down the street, you say, "Hey, who's Sly Stone?" And they'll be like, "I love Rambo." You know, they don't get it. But music people and cultural historians, they're like, no, what you think Kanye is today, that's what Sly Stone was back then. Sly Stone rattled off like a dozen massive hits in like a 4-year period, got his bag of cash, and then went, I'm going to spend this bag of cash on drugs, and did drugs for 20 years, did nothing, just stopped. People are like, Sly, you got to come back. So fast forward to the 2006 Grammy Awards. My partner Kelly and I, we were out there covering it because back in those days, we went to the Grammys every year. And the big event at this Grammy Award in 2006 was a Grammy tribute to Sly Stone. And the only reason they did this tribute is because they asked Sly, would you come out and perform? And he's like, I haven't performed in like 50 years. And they're like, just come and perform. And he's like, oh, right. So the big thing was a very special tribute to Sly Stone, making his first live appearance in almost 40 years, or whatever it was. It was a huge deal, man. Started out with like John Legend singing, "It's a Family Affair," you know, all that. Then Josh Stone comes out and she's like, "Thank you for letting me be my," like all of the Sly Stone. I love everyday people, like these iconic songs. They're all out. Joe Perry and Steven Tyler comes out. And now introducing the original GOAT. And now's the moment we're all waiting for. Sly Stone is going to come out on stage. Sly Stone comes out on stage. He walks out. He's got a giant punk rock, like 3-foot tall afro. Or not afro, mohawk. Totally cool. He walks out. He's like, wah, 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 wah. They're playing "It's a Family Affair." And he's like, wah. He comes walking out. Crowd goes nuts. He waves. He goes behind his keyboard because he's playing the keyboards there. And so you got Joe Perry and Steven Tyler and Josh Stone and I don't know who else was out there. John Legend, all these people out there singing Sly Stone. You know, they're recreating the Sly and the Family Stone thing. He comes out. He walks out. He goes behind his little computer, little keyboard with the computer, plays a couple of notes, mumbles into the microphone, walks away from it, walks to the front of the stage, says something. Nobody knows what he said to this day. Says something, waves, leaves. Leaves. All of these musicians on stage who were like, we're supposed to play a whole medley of this dude's music, and he's gone. Oh, it was crazy. It was all the buzz inside the Grammy Hall. We're like, where did Sly go? I don't know. He just walked out the back, got in the car, and went home. So that was it. First time he performed in 40 years. And it was like 30. I bet you don't think I have it. I do. You want to watch it? Sure, we can show that video. All right, here we go. Let me pull it up for you. Now, I have to warn you about this. The sound is bad. So I don't know why the sound is bad, but the sound is really bad. And also, the video itself is like kind of grainy. And I'm like, come on, you guys. This is 2006. This isn't 1966. How is this so grainy and so crappy? I don't know. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. Let's pull this up. Hold on, we gotta wait. And it'll pull it up. But it was so funny because everybody was like, what? He just left. He changed his mind like in the middle of the tribute. Dude changed it. He's got anxiety and depression, and he's got all these things. He's a crazy person, just like Kanye. Like I told you about Kanye. He's a crazy person, but he's a crazy person who, when he gets in a music studio, he makes some shit that is just mind-blowing. All right, here we go. So this is Steve. What does this say? All right, hold on. We'll get to the point where he shows up. All right. Now, I wasn't too far from where this was happening. We were off to the side, and we were off to the side of the stage where he walked out. So I got to see him leave. I got to see him. All right. So this is how it starts. This is just them doing, like I said, I apologize. The sound and quality is not good. All right, so this is one of his songs, right? He hasn't come out yet.
Please welcome Fantasia and Devin Lima.
And I don't know who these people are, but see, they're doing like a whole bunch of his songs, awaiting him to show up and do them. All right, hold on. Let's go to the point where he shows up. Okay, so here, we're this far into it. Get to about right here. Here we are. All right. I mean, this is all a build-up for something that the room is electric. They're like, where is he? When's he going to come out? All right. They're jamming. Again, the sound sucks. Here he comes. All right, come on. All right, here we go. This is where it starts.
Hey, Slime! Let's do it like we used to do it.
All right, so here it comes. Steven Tyler just called outside. Here it comes. He doesn't want to be there. He's like, whatever. Okay. All right. Now they're just jamming. Get crazy, psychedelic, funky. Okay. All right. They're going to do I Want to Take You Higher for a little bit, but then this happens. All right. Okay. At what point he loses interest? Oh, here he comes. Okay. Here he comes. That song's over. He says goodbye. He's just changed his mind. And now he's leaving. See him walk out the back. Now all the other guys on the stage, they don't know what they're doing. They're like, wait, he's supposed to. So now they're just gonna jam for a while. And it was the most anticlimactic ending. So anything that was super hyped that I've ever seen, it was hysterical. It's like, where did he go? Where'd he go? He just left. All right, there you go. Happy birthday. He's still alive, man. Sly Stone is still alive. I thought for sure he was dead. I'm like, that was 2006, and he looked like. I mean, that's what it is about getting your bag. He got his bag. He got enough money. Figured there's enough money I can live on for the rest of my life. I don't need to do anything except the drugs that I choose to do, and apparently that's what he's been doing for past 3 decades. All right, so those are the first two, right? So I wanted to just give you, I told you this is a crazy day for birthdays of lead singers and band leaders. I gave you, we did Harry James, I gave you Mike Love, and I gave you Sly Stallone. I'm going to run through this next list, okay? Bear with me. All of these people are sharing a birthday today. Dee Snider of Twisted Sister, Terrence Trent D'Arby of Wishing Well, Bret Michaels of Poison, Rockwell of Somebody's Watching Me, Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray, Mark Hoppus of Blink 182, Will I Am come on. Isn't that crazy? All of those people were born on this day. All of them. And then on top of that, Mike Love, Sly Stone, and Harry James. All right, that's going to do it. Oh, we got one more birthday. Happy birthday to local product. He is South Lake Carroll Dragon, Texas quarterback, Quinn Ewers. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, Ewers, because I only read about him. I think that's it. Quinn Ewers, American football player. Where's he going to go in the draft? I do not know. Okay, folks, that's going to do it. That's quarter 1, quarter 2, and quarter 3 in the books. We went through the antecedents on this day. We went through the birthdays, and I gave you... Oh, no. Now I got to give you the deads. Oh, it's just birthdays. I'm out of sorts. All right, so here we go. Quarter 3. These are deaths. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who have died, who have died. These are the people who have died. Do they go to heaven or hell? Julius Caesar, we already talked about that. He died on this day in 44 BC. I think that is pretty much, he's going to hell. Does he? I assume he's going to hell. I assume that Julius Caesar did some pretty sketchy things, right? But do we have to reconsider that instinct? The instinct is to put him in hell. Do we have to reconsider that instinct when we think about his freaking staying power and the stuff that he did, the accomplishment? I don't know. He's still going to hell. There you go. Julius Caesar probably went straight to hell. Dead on this day in 1966, Abe Saperstein. Abe Saperstein. You know who Abe Saperstein is? He's a con man. He's a lying sack of crud. Abe Saperstein was a promoter. He promoted circuses and he promoted those kinds of things. He had big Saperstein offices there on the south side of Chicago. That's where he started this whole thing. He was a dude who started a basketball team called the Harlem Globetrotters from the south side of Chicago. They were never in Harlem. They weren't a Harlem basketball team. It's just that Abe Saperstein, he knew that was exotic. Harlem was exotic, and he was going to make this team of all black players who could do crazy stuff. Although I don't even think they were all black in the beginning. What was that? What was the Harlem thing? Anyway, it was never Harlem. He's a liar. So Abe Saperstein goes to jail. They should have been the South Side Trotters. They should have been that. They shouldn't have been the Harlem. Why are you giving crap? Harlem. All right, so Abe Saperstein, he's going to hell too. Going to hell. Ooh, another guy preemptively going to hell. Dead on this day in 2007, Charles Harrelson. Charles Harrelson. You know who he is? Yeah, that's right. You're thinking of him. That's Woody Harrelson's dad. He says here, Charles Harrelson, American murderer. Well, there you go. Here, let's see this. Let me see. Let's see if we get some pictures. What does he look like? Right? Does he look like Woody? Have we ever seen pictures of him? Let me see. Charles Harrelson, Woody's dad, is he's been connected to JFK. They think he might have been involved in that whole bunch of nonsense. Anyway, he murdered a judge. He's a murderer. Yeah. All right, so here you go. This is him. Does he look like Woody? I'll make it bigger. This is the mugshot of Woody Harrelson's dad, Charles Harrelson. Look at him. Kinda? I don't know. I bet, yeah. I'll go yeah, but I'm still putting him in hell because he's a murderer. Sorry, Woody, I love you, but your dad's kind of a piece of garbage. Sorry, didn't mean to go there, but here we are. All right, that's going to do it, folks. That's it. That's quarter 1, 2, and 3 in the books. Now it's time for us to do a little quarter 4, which is all of these things that are, people are talking about today. So here we go. We'll do this. Just a little reminder, and now we'll move on. Okay, here's what's trending. We got a bunch of stuff going on today, too. So let's try and run through this. I don't want to keep you. Did you just hear that? It's a pop-up for a spring set. Why am I getting pop-ups on this computer that is only used? Fannie Willis. Fannie be tender with my heart. Fannie. Totally underrated Bee Gees song. That song, do you know that song? Fannie be tender with my love or whatever it is. That song, look, whatever you think of the Bee Gees, I don't really care. Bee Gees are freaking great, man. Those dudes, they could bang out a hit. They knew exactly how to get people moving. Point is this, that's probably my favorite Bee Gees song. Fannie be tender with my heart. It has quite possibly the most interesting progression into a chorus I've ever heard. And the way those voices, it's just such a good song. Here, listen to it 3 times. You'll be humming it all day. And don't just listen to it once, because you small-minded jerks, you'll just go, I don't like this song. No, you never like anything the first time you hear it. Listen to that song 3 times. That earworm will get stuck in you. You'll be singing it anyway. Fannie Willis. Judge Scott McAfee has ruled in Georgia that Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis and her office can continue prosecuting Donald Trump and his co-defendants, but only if Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade steps down. In his Friday ruling, Judge McAfee wrote that the defense had failed to meet its burden, proving that Willis, quote, acquired an actual conflict of interest in this case through her personal relationships and recurring travels with her lead prosecutor. So here's how that shakes out. This is the Georgia case. So this shakes out. They wanted to get her kicked out, and the judge is like, you can kick her out. She just needs to leave her boyfriend. You people made the contention that she was corrupt and all this stuff because, her relationship with her boyfriend. And the judge said, we're not going to grant you. We're not going to kick her out. So she can stay, but it's up to her. It's totally up to her. She's got to cut that dude loose, who she either was or wasn't banging, which I don't understand. I don't understand how that's a problem. I assume that shit happens in law offices all the time. Those people are working late. They're ordering pizza into the office. They're cramming. Have you never, ever watched a legal drama on TV? Have you ever seen LA Law? It just seems to be a thing. I don't know. I wasn't following this because, see, this is one of them bullshit political stories that are drummed up just to keep us divided. I said Fannie Willis, and I bet half of you in the chat room, your heads exploded because of preconceived notions. I don't know shit about this chick. You know why I don't know shit about this chick? Because it ain't normal to know intimate details about a prosecutor in a county that is like 5 states away. And I'm normal, and you're not if you're obsessed with Fannie Willis. Is she crooked? Probably. All of these people are crooked. But is she specifically crooked here? I don't know. And I don't care. Moving on. So I don't know if that's a win or a lie. It's funny because if you look on Twitter right now, it's like, people who are one side are like, yeah, we got her. And people who are on the other side is like, ha ha, Trump lost again. So I don't know. Truth is what we make of it. Who cares? What is she? She a Fulton County District Attorney. What county do you live in? Name your district attorney. You can't do it. But you can name the Fulton County District Attorney. Why? Because you've been activated and you've been radicalized. I'm talking to both sides. Stupid liberals shouldn't know who Fannie Willis is any more than some MAGA weirdo should. We're all so weird. What happened to us? Why did we get so weird? Go back to rooting for your football teams, okay? Politics is not a sport. All right, moving on. This next one is fun. All right, we're going to get into this next one. We're going to watch some video. We're going to break down some video, and I'm going to warn you ahead of time. It is some disturbing video, I think. I don't really think that. That's programming. I'm telling you that it's disturbing because it seems like something someone would say before playing this video, but I personally do not find it disturbing. But hey, a lot of snowflakes out there. A lot of people very concerned about my feelings being hurt. So here we go. We're going to show this video. This happened yesterday in Brooklyn. There was a subway shooting. Did you hear about this? Whoa, this is a crazy story, man. At first when I saw the story, I was like, okay, not a big deal. Then I read the details and I'm like, holy crap, this is a roller coaster ride of events that occurred here. So here's basically what happened. 2 people, a man and a woman, were on a subway train in Brooklyn. Somehow the dude who was with the woman starts beefing with a third dude, like a third person, a dude. So you got 2 dudes beefing and the girlfriend's sitting there. Now, apparently they were beefing over a seat. Somebody wasn't allowed to sit somewhere, whatever. It doesn't matter. two people who don't know how to behave in public start beefing with each other. The third guy is the aggressor. Okay, we're gonna call him Black Guy because we're gonna watch the video and it's two Mexicans and a black guy. So we're gonna call Black Guy. Black Guy was the aggressor. He also wearing a black hoodie. So if any of you try to say it's racist, I'm gonna go, he's wearing a black hoodie. That's what I meant. Because you're all snowflakes and looking for your pound of flesh on people who don't deserve to have a pound of flesh ripped from them because there was no malice in what they said, but you just want blood anyway. Stop it. That's all you people. All right, so Black Guy starts doing the whole thing. You want somebody? You know, that whole thing. Come on, man, get up, get up. And then finally, Mexican dude stands up. Mexican dude's like, all right, man, I guess we're going to have to fight on a subway train. This is crazy. So black dude starts beating up Mexican guy. Black dude's got the advantage. That's when Mexican girlfriend of the year. I mean, not for me, because she's scary as fuck, but she's a New York subway riding girlfriend. And I guess if you're going to have a girlfriend on the subway, this is what you need to be prepared for. So Mexican dude's getting his ass kicked by black guy. That's when Mexican girlfriend jumps up out of nowhere with a knife and just starts stabbing the black guy in the back. Of course, black guy stops, right? Black guy's like, what'd you do that to me for? And, you know, she's like, I didn't do nothing. She literally says, I didn't do nothing. Meanwhile, he's bleeding all out his back. Now, Mexican dude is getting his ass kicked, whose girlfriend just stabbed the dude. Mexican dude now gets up and he kind of moves back over to the girlfriend. And the dude who stabbed is like, I can't believe I got stabbed. And he actually looks at her in the face and he goes, you stabbed me? She's like, I didn't do nothing. She did. We saw her. It's all on video. So then black dude reaches into his bag and pulls out a gun. And he's like, you stabbed me. And he starts coming at the girlfriend with the gun. The girlfriend and the Mexican dude. Black guy, gun, two Mexican people, Mexican girl, knife in her hand. You're going to watch the video, and I'm just giving it to you in these terms because you're going to want to know who these people are. So black dude's stabbed in the back going, I can't believe you stabbed me. And he's coming at her with the gun. And then at that point, everyone else, including the people who are filming, they all go, gun! And they all run. And so at that point, the camera goes, and we don't know what the hell is happening here. Goes dark for us as far as information. We saw the whole lead up, but then as soon as the gun was revealed, everybody rightfully got the out of there. Then we hear, we hear gunshots. We're like, oh, damn it, they're firing. But we don't see it because, the person who was filming is now like banging on the door going, let me out, right? They're not focusing on the action anymore. So when the dust settles, here's what happened. One person is in critical condition after being shot 4 times, twice in the chest and twice in the face. Center mass, boom, 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 boom. They got him twice in the face, twice in the chest. Everybody else is fine. Now, would you be interested to learn that the person who got shot is the black guy who pulled the gun? The black guy who got stabbed by the Mexican girlfriend, who then pulled a gun and went towards the girlfriend. You know why? Because the boyfriend, Mexican dude who was getting his ass kicked by the black guy, somehow got the gun away from him and then just opened up on him. Now, what are the police saying about all this? Here's what the police are saying. The police are saying that the dude who's in the hospital on his deathbed, that's the guy we're going to charge because we've seen the video. He produced the gun. The guy who shot him 4 times, that's self-defense. He just took that gun away from that guy. He took the gun away from him and used it on him. However, they are saying this. The police are saying, we do want to talk to the girlfriend, though, about the stabbing that occurred because she didn't have to do that. I called her girlfriend of the year. Subway girlfriend of the year. You got to have a girlfriend on the subway. You want a girl who's willing to throw down with a blade, right? But the police want to talk to her. The police are like, you didn't have to stab him. Kind of caused it. All right, so let's watch the video. You ready? You want to watch this all unfold? I've given you the lay of the land because it's all going to happen fast. So hopefully you understand. Oh, geez. Louise, hold on. I got to cancel that. Got to pull this video. Where's the cool video? Now it's like 4 minutes of video and we're going to watch it. Okay? Because trust me, you're going to want to watch it. Okay. Where's the full? Oh, you kind of do this to me. Here it is. Okay, full video. Very good. Thank you. All right, here we go. This is what occurred yesterday in New York, Brooklyn to be exact, on a subway. Boop, boop. By the way, I do want to say that I love the subway. I love the subway in New York. I use it every time I'm there. I grew up on a subway in Chicago between classes and getting around Chicago. I love the subway. If you're one of these people who are like, I would never ride a subway, you're a pussy. You are just flat out a pussy. And anybody who lives in a big city is like, oh, I see. You've been told. So you think that the minute you walk on a subway that you're probably going to get shot. No. I've ridden the subway in Chicago probably 2,000 times, and I've ridden the subway in New York maybe 100 times, and I can tell you I've never seen anything violent happen. Daily. I was on the subway in Chicago daily. Never seen anything violent happen. Did I see people peeing in the corner? Yeah. Did I see people having sex? Absolutely. But did I ever see anybody go, I'm going to shoot people randomly? No, I never saw that. But anyway, you want to be afraid of mass transit? That's fine. Maybe you're a country boy, just don't get it. I mean, I'm afraid. Look, I'm afraid of cows. So we all got our things. But I just wanted to put that out there that don't be afraid of the subway. These people ride this thing. This happened. This is exciting. And honestly, the people who got into this thing together seem to be the kind of people who get into this thing together. You know what I mean? They both seem a little sketchy. I mean, the girlfriend, God love her, she was willing to stab another human being 4 times. So, right? I mean, how good are they? Anyway, here you go. So witnesses on the train, what he's saying is, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to beat you up. You think you can beat up cops? Witnesses on the train were saying that this dude was saying he was a cop and he was acting like a thug, but he was claiming to be a cop. And, you know, well, some people might go, yeah, that tracks. But no, come on. He's not a cop for some reason.
Such average
We're talking about this guy here in the white hat in the black. This is the guy that ends up being the victim, and this is the guy that produces the gun.
Beat up me. Beat up me. Beat up me. Beat up me. Fuck you. I love my blacks. That's it. I love my blacks. Fuck you. Fuck that. Fuck you. Fuck your kind. Fuck your race. I love my blacks. Fuck you. Do something about it. You like that? Come on, man. You let your girl be. Maybe you move, nigga, I'm gonna beat you up. And maybe you move, act like you want to beat you up. I'm gonna beat you up.
Okay.
I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat you up. Only you. No women. Just you. You're a man.
All right, now this is an angle where you can see the girl standing against the wall here in the pink. All right, this is the blade girl. She's got a blade on her. Her boyfriend is right here. He's still seated. He's not rising to the bait. This guy's like, come on, let's fight. Come on.
I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna break you up. I'm gonna break you up. On my life, I'm gonna break you up. I'm gonna break you up. Wait. I'm waiting for
Guy on pink. Okay. Let me into the crowd. All right. And right there, is that like some unspoken telepathy between boyfriend and girlfriend? Was she like, okay, I'm going to move because it's time for you to get up and fight this fool? Because as soon as she left, as soon as she moved out of the fray, that's when the boyfriend got up and was like, let's do it. So here we go. She loses back. These are some New Yorkers, man. These people know. They're like, yep, all right, let's clear the floor. Let's all move to this side. They're about to go at it. All right. Here we go. Move, baby girl.
There's babies on here.
What you trying to do? What you trying to do? Maybe you move on my friend. You are amazing. Maybe you move on my friend.
It's fun knowing what happens. It's fun knowing that this fool who's like basically instigated this whole thing with come on. It's fun knowing that he just gets his ass handed to him ultimately. It doesn't work out well. Let it be a lesson to you little leaguers out there. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. There you go. Okay.
You trying to make me hit you first.
What happened? You want to do it?
There's something out there.
Oh!
There's something out there.
Oh! What the chest? Oh!
All right. Do you see the girlfriend come out of nowhere? She is stabbing him in the back right here. We'll go back to that again, so don't miss it. Okay.
What happened? You want to do it?
There's something out there.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh! What the chest?
Okay. Okay, now down. All right. All right, so girlfriend has just moved in. Now, when we come back to the motion, you're going to see her stabbing at his back. There she is. Look at her. She's stabbing. Jesus. Now he stops. He's like, what? You stabbed me? You stabbed a cop? He just said. He's not a cop. By the way, he's not a cop. He's got a long and extensive record of violent crime. Gun crime. He's done years in prison. Also, videotape shows him jumping the turnstile. So he didn't even pay to be on this train. He just jumped it.
Get him.
Do you see the blood starting to emerge? The blood is starting to pour out of his back.
I'm behind you, bro. Come on. Get him off of him.
All right, give this nigga.
There's kids over here. Let's just separate. You want me to separate?
The blood spot's getting bigger now.
Get separate.
Pour out.
Both have a seat, my boy. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Oh, you stab me? I'm locking you up.
Yo, you stab me? I'm going to lock you up. He's still claiming to be a cop.
I'll lock you up when you get off. I'm like, I got you. I'm bleeding.
I'm bleeding. I ain't done nothing. We just saw you just violently stabbing him in the back. Look, justifiable, some people might say, but
This is true, but that's you locked up.
I ain't doing nothing.
You get locked up.
there you go.
You interfere with a man's situation. You don't. It don't bleed him. Okay? I got you.
All right.
You stab me, right? You stab me, right?
He's getting a gun out of that jacket. He's got a gun this whole time, and he's getting it now.
You stab me? You stab me? You stab me? You stab me?
I ain't doing nothing. No.
You stab me? You stab me?
All right, so now he's got a gun. He's pulled a gun out. He's cocked it.
You stab me?
Now everything's like this.
No, I'm got it now. I'm got it now.
So what's happening right now is that the man with the gun is engaging with the Mexican guy, and they are tangled up, and they are fighting for the gun.
Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Yeah. She was mugging to the camera a couple of minutes ago. Now shit got serious. And there's the gunshots. 4 shots, 2 in the chest, 2 in the face. The aggressor that we just saw there is the one who is lying in critical condition. The police are not filing charges against the other man. They're saying that he took the gun away from him in self-defense and then used it against him in self-defense, which I think sounds absolutely right. However, the stabby girlfriend, cops want to talk to her. Cops are like, you were going to issue a warrant for. Can't do that. How crazy is this world? How crazy is this world? Frank says, an advertisement to not live in a large city and use personal vehicles. Yeah, if you want your quality of life to suck. But the thing about living in a large city is that it's exciting and it's fun and there's something to do. And, you know, Frank, sorry, dude, but I got to disagree with you on that. Big cities way over. I don't want to live in the middle of nowhere with nobody, which is weird because I'm a hermit. But I want to be a hermit within some sort of hustle and bustle. That's how I would do it. Taking shits on big cities, Frank. Telling you, man, I love the subway. You get fun like that. People who got hurt were probably sketchy ass people who deserve to get hurt. I do think it's funny that they're looking for the girl. Out of all of that, they're looking for the girl. All right, New York subway. That happened yesterday during rush hour. Haiti. Let's check in on Haiti, where it looks like we've got a new guy who's in charge in Haiti. His name is Jimmy Barbecue. He's a gang leader. He's a gang leader who goes by Barbecue. And he seems to be calling the shots, although not officially, because the president of Haiti has walked away. He's like, yeah, we're getting out of here. And the person that seems to have the support of the people is a gang leader named Barbecue. Let's learn about him. Gang boss Barbecue threatens new Haiti government. I'll know where your kids are. Woo! This son of a bitch, he's back. Haiti's gangs are still fighting despite Prime Minister Ariel Henry's resignation. Fearsome gang boss Jimmy Barbecue Chezier has issued a chilling threat to those looking to form a new government. He wants to be king. That's what he wants. That's his threat. It says Barbecue's murderous mob plunged the Caribbean country into chaos earlier this month, demanding that absentee Prime Minister Ariel Henry resign from office. Under pressure from the international community, unelected Henry, man, there's just so much fucked up about Haiti. All right, we're done. Anyway, that's Haiti. He had a crime buddy, a street gang guy. He's calling the shots now, apparently. Here's some news from last night. We saw this in Frisco. There was a tornado touchdown in Frisco, somewhere up there. But there was a bad one. There was a bad string of tornadoes in Ohio last night as this crazy warm weather meets the cold weather of the north. 3 people are believed dead. Tornadoes kill at least 3 people and leave a trail of destruction all across the central United States. Let's see here. Blaine Schmidt sifted through the broken glass and splintered wood throughout his Ohio home Friday, salvaging a guitar and a bundle of diapers. His couch and crib had been ripped apart by one of the many tornadoes that tore through the central U.S., killing at least 3 people and injuring dozens more. The storm peeled open his living room, but at least the house was standing. The one next door, not so lucky. All right. Thursday night storms left trails of destruction across parts of Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and Arkansas. About 40 people were injured and dozens of homes damaged in one Indiana community alone. Tornadoes were also suspected in Illinois, Missouri, and as far south as Texas. I think that's the Frisco one. There was storm chasers were going nuts up there in Frisco. They were following something. All right. It's that time of year. We're going to be dealing with that today. What's the weather like for the rest of the day? Now I'm worried about tornadoes. It's sunny now. It is sunny. We got that sunny sun happening. Okay. Nah, doesn't look like it's going to rain. Looks like the next time it's going to rain is when? Hold on. Oh, it does look like it's going to rain. What time are the rain showers coming? Tomorrow. Tomorrow it looks like it's going to rain. All right, whatever. I'm not worried about tornadoes. Always worried about that. Frankie says, Pugs, I've rode the L in Chicago. Chicago's great. Don't kiss ass on Chicago. I know you're a Chicago boy, Frank. I know you and I are like that, but they're not great. They're dirty, but they're real convenient and they're fun when you're drunk and you're trying to get from bar to bar and you don't want to take a cab and you don't want to drive and you don't want to park and all that trouble. I don't know. Used to be like $250. You could ride it all night, up and down. You want to go to a bar in Wrigleyville? Let's jump on the L. You go on up. Let's go back downtown. You jump on the L. You come all the way back down. It's so easy. I don't know. I like it. I've never been shot or killed. I've used it a lot. And by the way, when I say don't be a pussy about this stuff, you do realize that This is coming from someone whose father lost his life due to street violence. Okay. So don't even say, oh, you're lucky it never happened. I go, look, my family has been irreversibly affected by gun violence and street crime. Doesn't stop me from riding the subway because, not a pussy. And it's not nearly as bad as some of you rubes think it is. Well, how dangerous is it? It's not dangerous at all, man. You think there's a murder every day on the subway? No, every other day, sure. I don't know. Subway slander. I will not take subway slander. Do they smell? Worse than anything you will ever smell in your life. Is that part of the magic? A little bit. A little bit. All right, let's go. Ohio Senate candidate. I like this guy. All right, my MAGA people. Come on, MAGA people. I need you because you got another one of these dudes that you're running who it turns out is like a complete fool. This is your latest. Remember when they ran the guy for Senate in Alabama that was the child molester who used to hang out at malls and hit on like 12-year-olds? Remember that guy? And they were like, well, we're still going to support him because politics. You kind of... I'm going to say actually, this dude ain't bad. This dude's just a hypocrite, and this is a hysterical story. So you got a MAGA candidate running for Senate in Ohio who is like, well, he used to be like a pro LGBTQ activist guy. Like he was involved in that stuff. Like, we want gay marriage. Like he was that guy. But now he's a MAGA candidate. And he has swung to the other direction. He hates the gays. He hates them gays. He's like, them gays, I know I used to think them gays were fun, but that's when I enjoyed going to dance parties. Now I haven't been to a dance party in a while. And you know what? I hate gays. They provide nothing to me. That's his attitude now. And of course, he's a MAGA candidate. Well, guess what happened? They found something. 2008, dude had a adult friend finders account. Which is, fine. Yeah, I guess I remember that was a thing like years ago. Well, this would be 2008. Dude had an adult friend finders account with the headline, just a single man looking for hookups with young single men. Yeah. He was like trolling. He was trolling like gay dudes on, he's trying to get, and now he hates gays and he's running and Trump is like, he's the guy that you got to vote. Come on, you guys, judge a character. And we could do the same thing with the Dems. It's just that level of hypocrisy is hysterical to me. He's like, I used to like gays. Now I hate them. What did they do? Kick your dog? What did a gay person do in the meantime? Well, I saw an opportunity to be anti-gay and get votes. Okay, that's what you did. That's the level of integrity that we're seeking in our elected officials in the upper house, no less. This dude's running for the Senate. I don't know. Moving on. Wait, maybe his name is Bernie Moreno. Bernie Moreno. He used to troll adult friend finders. Barty says, I don't even want to ride the TRE. Is that the Texas thing? Yeah, I've never ridden that. You know why? Because it's not convenient. It doesn't do anything that mass transportation is supposed to do. If I could get on a train, here's how mass transportation is supposed to work. So like I live adjacent to downtown Dallas, right? I live in this Highland Park area. Theoretically, there should be a stop within a block of where I wake up in the morning. And I should be able to walk to that stop, get on that train, take it to a central hub, like a central train location, change trains for the same ticket because I already paid for the day, get on a different train and go right to the Rangers game if I want. It should let me out right there at the Ranger game, like every other city that has mass transportation. Who the fuck is using the TRE here in town? I have no idea. It's like, where does it go? Doesn't it run up 35? And there's another one that runs up 75? Every time I am stuck at a crossing for that train, because you get stuck on them, especially over Lovers and Greenville in that area over here once you get by 75. Every time I get stuck by the gates down, an empty train goes by. Yeah, there's like nobody on it. It's like, why doesn't anybody use it? Because it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't take anybody anywhere. If you get people to Cowboy games, get people to Six Flags, get people to Fort Worth, that's how you use mass transportation. And then you got to build like dozens and dozens of stations in neighborhoods with additional tracks that all meet at a central hub location. You don't need it. We don't need it here. Honestly, the time for that kind of infrastructure is done. It's done. We're all going to have flying cars and shit. Hell, we'll be teleporting ourselves places. We got good roads here, though. I'm going to give that. For car driving and stuff, everything's pretty well connected here, man. I mean, if I need to get up north, I got 3 choices. I got 35, 75, and the tollway. Boom, boom. That's pretty easy. I want to go sideways across. I got the Bush. I got 635. Hell, you can take the Bush. It turns diagonal through the mid-cities right to the airport. I mean, the roads. Texans know about their roads, man. But they never really went in with mass transit. And I honestly don't think they need to. Unless they want to start connecting Dallas, Fort Worth, and the mid-cities, which is what they should have done all the time. I don't know why there's not a major station right there. There should be a major hub in Arlington across the street. You know where that Target is? Across the street from Jerry World. That should be a major hub. And whether you want to go to Six Flags or whether you want to go to Wet n Wild or a Ranger game or I don't know, soccer game. What do? They play soccer up there, arena football? I don't know. Baseball, you should be able to just go to one place and then just walk to all those. What is the point of having all these amazing attractions within walking distance of each other if you can't just take a train? It would be nice. I also want a train from downtown Dallas that gets me to Fort Worth very quickly. I think that connecting the 2 cities in that way culturally would be a game changer. I think you would start to see downtown Fort Worth explode. You'd start to see restaurants. You know why? Because people from all over would start going there. You know, when you tell somebody who lives in, I don't know, Richardson or something, hey, there's a new restaurant in Fort Worth. You know what that person in Richardson does? All right, we should get the calendar out and plan a trip out there. Shouldn't have that. Shouldn't be that way. You should be able to go, oh, is there a new restaurant? You should be able to go and get on a train and be there in 20 minutes. And you can drink and have fun. You don't have to worry about driving or parking or any of that nonsense. That would be good, but we don't have that. We also don't have crazy shit like what we just had occur on the New York subway. So, maybe that's a good thing. What else do we have here? What else is trending today? Okay, Ohio Senate. Hey, Pornhub. We talked about this yesterday. Pornhub is no longer in Texas. Is that still the case? Hold on, let me check. Let me see. See if it's still the case. Pornhub.com. All right. Yep. Yeah, we still can't get your whack on if you're one of those people who think there's only one PornTube site. Pornhub is one of billions, man. You can still get your whack on if you're so inclined here in North Texas or Texas in general. It's just, this is a problem between Pornhub and the dude, the attorney general. See, I don't even know. This guy is like littered in scandal, and I can't even Greg Abbott? No, he's the governor. I don't care about these people. I don't care about them. Pornhub, still illegal in Texas. Might I suggest X-Hamster? Might I suggest a friend of mine on Twitter? She's really funny. I don't know her handle, so I can't give it out. But she had a full list of other porn sites, exactly like Pornhub, that if you're so inclined, you can go check out. So I know they're out there. Boeing, we talked about the Boeing whistleblower earlier in the week. This is the guy, is it the 777 guy or the 787 guy? I don't know, whatever. He worked at Boeing and he blew the whistle on some, shortcuts that they were taking and all that, and became a big thing, and they grounded the fleet and all that. Well, he did. He killed himself. He must have just felt so bad about blowing the whistle on Boeing that he decided to end his life. Okay, that's what we're going to go with. Except that's not what anyone who knows him is going with. Everyone who knows him, even his coworkers and all this stuff, they're all going, he didn't commit suicide. He was killed. Yeah, he didn't commit suicide. I know it looks like he committed suicide, but he didn't commit suicide. He wasn't that type of guy. Now, me as someone who suffers from depression, I kind of wince when I hear not that type of guy, because trust me, you don't know what lurks inside the brains of all of us, right? We all have these little things. But if he's a dude who that just seems wildly out of character for, and everybody who knows him is like, I don't think he killed himself. I think we should look into that. Will we look into it? No, because it's Boeing, and Boeing is billions and billions and billions of dollars. So we're just going to let this slide and let Boeing do what they want. That's the world that we live in, and it's the world that we're all okay with. We're all okay with it. We're fine with it. We're just going to go, wow, that's a terrible story. Pearl clutch, pearl clutch. What's for dinner? And maybe that's how we get through this fucked up world. I'm not judging. I'm just observing, saying that's what we do. Civil War. Who knows it? Alex Garland's new movie. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago when the trailer was first released. So I was like, I don't know about this movie. Here's what I know about this movie, Civil War. I know I want to see it. I know I really want to see it ASAP. As soon as I can see this movie, it's the earliest it's available, I will see it. Unless, of course, it's in a theater. I don't care about that. I ain't seeing this movie in a theater. However, the minute it becomes available on like some bootleg streaming session, I'm going to watch this movie. Civil War, Alex Garland's look at what a modern America might look like in the throes of a civil war. Synopsis of the film. Nick Offerman, the incredible Nick Offerman, who is just, you love Nick Offerman. Everybody loves Nick Offerman. There ain't anybody who's like, I hate that dude. Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec is iconic. Nick Offerman plays a 3-term United States authoritarian president who the country has now split in half. That's the synopsis. By the way, just cool your jets, apparently, because all of these people are talking about it today, and we'll get into that story in a minute. Apparently, it's not political at all. It doesn't delve into the politics of why or, your side, my side. It's not that at all. It does focus on the cultural differences in the different parts of the country. It concerns 2 war correspondents, Kirsten Dunst and some other dude. And they are following them as they traverse the United States of America while America is in a civil war. Just like we see these people, Aria Diamond or whoever, we see them in Yugoslavia. We see them in the Ukraine. We see them in Gaza. It's like, oh, that's a war correspondent. So that's what this movie's about. We're following Kirsten Dunst, a war correspondent covering the United States Civil War. Other than that, not a lot of politics. It will end up being incredibly political. We will make it so because we have to make everything political. But the film itself, they're all saying, it's really not political. It's really like, if you watch this, you're not like... So here's why Civil War is trending, because it premiered last night. It debuted at South by Southwest, and it's the first time that critics and viewers alike got an opportunity to sit and watch Civil War, Alex Garland's new film. And guess what? The fans, the people who watched it, I believe it was 77%. It was a 77% rating of the people who watched this movie said they liked it. 77%. But like almost 100% of the critics liked it. The critics were like, so this is Alex Garland made, was it 12 Days Later or 12, whatever that was, that zombie kind of a thing. They compared it to that, except... it doesn't matter. Why am I even going there? Critics loved it. The critics are like, this movie is great. This movie is like the best film of the year. 2 critics have already dubbed it the best film of the year. I ain't seen it. I don't know that any of this is true. I'm just going to tell you what the crowd at South by Southwest said about Alex Garland's new film, Civil War. Here it is. Civil War first reactions from premiere. Here is a quote now. Scary as hell cautionary tale. That's what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying this is the scariest movie that's ever been made. You think, guys with hatchets coming at you out of the woods is scary. It's like, no. This is a lot scarier. A24 and writer-director Alex Garland's provocative action film had its world premiere at South by Southwest. Here's another quote. There is nothing quite like it, and you're not ready, is something that another person who saw it said. Hype. A24 revealed its provocative action drama Civil War at the South by Southwest Film and Television Festival on Thursday night, screening to a packed audience at Austin's Paramount Theater. Civil War was revealed to be a tribute to war journalism that veers away from explaining the politics that led to its central conflict. The movie instead depicts the practicalities and horrors of a civil war in modern-day America. The first blush audience reactions are raves, with viewers calling the film a riveting and haunting movie. First round of critic reviews have the film earning an 85% fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes. So in this review here, they're saying that the audience and the critics both loved it. The film from Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina. I never saw that. Supposed to see that. Everybody says Ex Machina is so good. I mean, I know Alex Garland is a legit filmmaker. I'm just not all up to speed on his stuff yet. The film from acclaimed writer-director Alex Garland imagines a near-future dystopia where the United States has been torn apart under the authoritarian rule of three-term President Nick Offerman. The story follows a journalist, Kirsten Dunst, and her colleague as they make their way across a hostile and divided states of America, with the hope of interviewing the president as the forces seeking to overthrow him close in on Washington, D.C. Let's see. 12 days later, 28 days later. That's it. Why did I... It's like 28 days later. What is 12 days later? It's like a 12-step, 28 days later. That was a good one. Here are some of the early reactions from those in attendance. Okay, so these are some of the quick reviews. Alex Garland's Civil War is unlike anything I've ever watched. It's a big, vicious, action-packed war picture from A24, which means it brings with it a richness and depth that you don't get anywhere else. This is Garland's best work. Flawless cinematography and gripping from start to finish. Somebody else said Civil War is phenomenal. Alex Garland's latest is a wholly consuming war movie, an epic but deeply intimate piece that uses the experience and motivations of a group of military-embedded journalists to highlight the deeply chilling reality of living in a world that never learns. The production value is through the roof. Between Rob Hardy's highly immersive cinematography and the booming sound design, Civil War puts the viewers as firmly in the shoes of a war photographer as possible. Alex Garland, here's another one. Alex Garland's Civil War is a masterpiece. My heart was constantly racing and my jaw was on the floor by the final act. Get rid of any expectations you have and see it in the loudest theater possible. One more. Alex Garland's Civil War. I'm speechless. A horrific tale, a journalism tale, an American tale well told. I'm telling you, man, people are raving about this. Alex Garland's Civil War is an absolute fucking masterpiece. A riveting, unflinching, visceral, cautionary tale that's scary as hell. Watching it, one can't help but feel how close we are to this actually happening, making it a must-see to stop it before it actually does happen. Okay, there you go. Some pretty big reviews. I know I'm stoked. I want to see it. I ain't seeing it in the theater, though. No. Bunch of yahoos. Probably take the whole theater hostage. I don't need that. I watch it in my bed, in my underwear, balancing a Hot Pocket on my chest. Yeah, I do that shit. I sure do. Have you noticed? Oh, God. Sorry. It's going to be hard. I just realized it's going to be harder to balance the Hot Pocket with my thumb. See, I can't even hold it. I can't hold. For those of you just joining me, I have injured thumbs. They're all black and blue. They're all. That's, look at that. I can't use my thumbs. I can't. Look at that. It's all purple. Here's the other one. Actually, that's not too bad. Look at that. That blister right there on the side really hurts though. All right, moving on. Civil War. How exciting are you? How exciting are you? Python meat, folks. Python meat is trending today. Do you know that there's move afoot to start ranching pythons for their meat? Because would you guess it tastes like chicken? That's what they say. Barney, I can't pearl clutch because my thumbs are broke. Yeah, but I get your point. Well played, sir. Python meat. They're going to start ranching python. Do you want to get in the python game? Come on, let's go. All I'm going to need about, I don't know, who wants to give me 20 grand to start a python ranch? They say it's like chicken. Here's the thing. I ain't eating python. I ain't never eaten python. You know how bad Civil War has to become a reality before I would even consider eating python meat. But they're saying that a python produces as much meat as 24 chickens. So, and what they're saying is that the pythons take up less space than the chickens. So you can actually just grow pythons and you can do it on small. They're talking about feeding the world. Poor people. Have a python burger. Ugh, God. No, python meat. I have my hillbilly friend. he's eating like rattlesnake and he eats snake and he's like, I grew up eating snake, and I'm like, ugh, good Lord. Anyway, python meat. So get in the game. Let's invest. Let's start a python ranch. I ain't going near them snakes though. I don't like snakes. I like the money that they're promising that python meat investment is going to bring. What else do we have? Pierce Brosnan. Oh, big Hollywood scandal for everyone's favorite failed James Bond. Was he James Bond? Was Pierce Brosnan James Bond? Was he? He was Remington Steele. And the whole time he was Remington Steele on TV, people were like, he's going to be James Bond. And then he got hired to be James Bond. And the people who made Remington Steele were like, you can't be James Bond. You're Remington Steele, and you've got to shoot Remington Steele. So he gave up on that. Pierce Brosnan was like, okay, so I guess I can't be Remington Steele. By the way, I wanted to point something out. Someone in the chat room the other day said listening to this is like listening to an extended version of Drunk History. And I got to tell you, thank you. Thank you. First of all, Drunk History, great show. Love that show. But secondly, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not presenting myself as an expert. Anyway, this was starting to sound like Drunk History as I was talking about. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. My whole thing just went down. Oh, come on. Pierce Brosnan. So he didn't get to be James Bond. They went with Timothy Dalton. But then did they let him be James Bond? Like, didn't he do James Bond once or twice? I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's a criminal. That's right. Pierce Brosnan was in court, got himself in trouble. Big Hollywood. Another one of these lefty liberal Hollywood D-bags. That's right. What did he do? Did he shoot somebody on set? No. What he did was he was at Yellowstone and he ventured off the path into an area where you're not allowed to go. And he took a selfie and he put it on Instagram. And then he went home to Hollywood after visiting Yellowstone and then got a summons in the mail that said, hey, you Instagram that you were off the trail. So now you're going to be fined $1,500. He had to go all the way back to court. He was found guilty. Actually, he pled guilty. And he had to pay $1,500. And he's like, I'm sorry. He goes, I was just looking for, it was a good picture. I love Yellowstone. I wasn't trying to, and he didn't break anything. The point is, he told on himself. Like he did it. The reason he got caught was because his Instagram is where he posted the picture of him off the trail, and just somebody at Yellowstone, I guess they were a big Pierce Brosnan fan. They follow him on Instagram. Somebody at Yellowstone went, he can't be in that area. So they actually brought charges, and the DA was like, yeah, let's charge him. And now that's over. And how stupid was all of that, huh? Leah Remini. She sounds like a mini bike, doesn't she? Or a small like engine that you would start to cut your grass. Maybe a snow plow if you're so inclined. Leah Remini. Was that actually right? When I said it like Remini. Okay, I guess you could say it that way too. Remini. I don't know. I like saying Leah Remini. Leah Remini has been in a decades-long battle with Scientology, and she's in court with them right now. She's suing them. They're suing her. Oh, it's a mess. Scientology scores a First Amendment win over Leah Remini. But harassment claims against the church are still standing. This, according to the judge. All right, so here get you caught up on this. Leah Remini's defamation. God. Leah Remini. That's it. It's Remini. Leah Remini's defamation and harassment suit against the Church of Scientology is far from dead, but it's constitutionally wounded. Far from dead. Can you say that? Can you say the same thing about Shelley Miscavige? Yeah. Well, what is that? That's a thing. That's a thing that nobody's like asking any questions about. The dude, David Miscavige, the guy who runs Scientology, his wife has been missing for like a decade. Like ain't nobody saw it. People are like, she's been kidnapped and brainwashed and what. Everything about it is so weird. In a March 12th split final ruling from the Los Angeles Superior Court, Judge Randolph Hammock, the David Miscavige-led organization has prevailed on getting significant portions of the ex-Scientologist actions stricken on First Amendment grounds. So a lot of the stuff that Leah Remini is saying about Scientology, apparently one at a time, they're getting them knocked down. And this was another example of that. They're saying, the judge is saying, yeah, that's pretty shady, but First Amendment, they can be shady in that way. The David Miscavige-led organization has prevailed on getting significant portions of the ex-Scientologist, that's Leah Remini, getting significant portions of Leah Remini's actions stricken on First Amendment grounds. However, part of Remini's harassment claims, allegations of surveillance, and the tortious interference claim remains in the case moving forward. I don't know. I was into the Leah Remini battle like 10 years ago when she first did those shows. Remember she had the show, I'm Leah Remini, I'm going to fight Scientology. I was like, yeah, girl, because I like her. She's cool. Moving on. I don't care. What is this? What are we going to do here? All right, hold on. What's the story? I got a story just popped up. And I'm like, I don't even remember doing this story. What is this story? Brain issues. Oh yeah. Oh, I see. So doctors or whatever, the people who make these lists, and then people like me repeat them on streams. Who is this? Who is doing it? Who is doing it? I should tell you. The IHME, which is the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation. It is a US-based health statistics organization. They say that more than 3.4 billion people, 43% of the global population, have experienced a neurological condition in 2021 or between 2021 and 2024. Far more than had previously been thought. So here's what they're saying. This is what this report is. Okay, so it used to be, hold on. I want to get this right. Basically, they're finding out that as they do more study on the brain and how the brain affects things, they're finding out that almost everything that they thought was, a cause for mortality among humans begins in the brain. They're like, yeah, but it's because these neurological issues were happening first. And if we had been able to find those neurological issues, then we would have been. Here's the point. Conditions affecting the nervous system, such as strokes, migraines, dementia, have surged past heart disease to become the leading cause of ill health worldwide. More than 3.4 billion people, 43% of the global population, experienced a neurological condition between 2021 and 2024. The study was carried out by hundreds of researchers led by the US-based Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, which has become a global reference for health statistics. Lead study author Jane Steinmetz said the results showed that nervous system conditions are now the world's leading cause of overall diseases and burden. And I would caution you, I say this a lot, we're only now in the last few years really getting serious about how the brain and how the mind and how that all affects everything. I would argue that it isn't now that these are the leading, they've just always been the leading cause. We just didn't identify it because we didn't think, again, I always say this, we understand you break an arm, we could figure out that's a bone in there. We could probably figure out how to fix that. So we could do that. You need a heart transplant. Okay, we kind of understand that. We cut you open, we put another one. But when it comes to the mind and when it comes to the brain, man, they just never went there. It's way too, I don't know. But now we are at a point now with medical science where we can do some real in-depth brain study. And we're finding out it's all about the brain. It's all about the brain. I know, tell that to someone having a heart attack, right? But still, moving on. Anyway, neurological issues are the number one cause of ill health globally, with 43% of human beings finding their ill health attributed to some form of neurological issue. What else do we have? Okay, so I'll do this. Just because it's free agent mayhem. How's our Cowboys doing? I'm just going to say this. My Chicago Bears now possess Keenan Allen. We acquired Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift. We've got Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett. You kidding me? We're going to run dual tight ends? Shane Waldron, bring it on. Shane Waldron was, of course, the offensive coordinator for Sean McVay for a bunch of years. Then he went up to Seattle the last couple of years, and he got Geno Smith looking good. So he's now totally changing our offense. And let me tell you, as a Chicago Bear, couldn't be happier. Here's the point. That's enough of my personal rant about the Keenan Allen deal. A fourth rounder. We got him for a fourth rounder. Poor San Diego, right? San Diego. Cowboys are like this too. San Diego's in salary cap hell. They've been able to renegotiate the deals with both Bosa and Khalil Mack. They've kept them in the fold. They cut Mike Williams outright. Mike Williams was cut outright. Nobody thought Keenan Allen would be on the block, but got a big contract. Keenan refused to renegotiate, and so they took away Herbert's number one weapon. That's fine. We'll take it. And you know what? I hope that it's Justin Fields throwing to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore next year. But if it's Caleb Williams, whatever. I don't care. Loading it up, bitches! We got a top 10 defense, a young top 10 defense. They cranked it out at the end of the year last year. We're very pleased with our defense. And now, holy shit, do we got some weapons. It's a crazy thing. You Cowboy fans can't understand this. When you look at your general manager of your team and you go, that fucking dude's balling out. You know what we get with the Cowboys? We get Jerry and Steven. Fucking clown show, these two. Anyway, big deal. Shocked the NFL late last night, 10 o'clock. Keenan Allen goes from the Los Angeles Chargers to the Chicago Bears. Couldn't be happier. And we still have the number 1 and the number 9 pick in the draft. Fine. We're going to take our generational quarterback. Fine. Let him prove it to me. I look forward right now. Everybody knows I'm a JF1 guy. I want to trade that number 1 pick just like we did last year. I want to roll with Justin. He's fucking great. He's developing fine. He has no weapons. Now he does. They're going to load up this team for Caleb Williams when the team that Justin Fields inherited was in teardown mode. Come on, man. That's not fair. But whatever. So I want him to trade that pick. I want the Bears to take the number 1 pick overall. I want him to trade it to somebody for a haul, probably Washington. So we'll be number 2. They'll be number 1. Washington will give us their next 3-year first-round picks, probably a second this year and maybe a second next year. Who knows? The precedent was set by Carolina last year. They got nutty in the Bryce Young deal. So I'd like to do that again. I'd like to do that, and I'd like to roll into the season with Justin Fields at quarterback, Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett in tight end positions. Got the classic and the youth tight end there. We're running both. That's a Waldron thing. Got DeAndre Swift. Come on. And now, of course, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen split wide. I love that. I also love Keenan Allen's one of these guys. I love these receivers. CD's one of these guys, but I think, do they put CD in motion? I'm trying to think. Keenan doesn't get put in motion. He's just one of them the receivers that get put in motion are the ones that need some kind of trickery. There are just certain dudes out there, certain receivers in this league. Devonta Adams is another one. Certain dudes in this league that they don't need to put in motion because with the first 3 steps, they're going to get their separation. They're just so good at that. And DJ Moore, who was a number 1. Yeah, we are. That's what we're asking for. We're asking for 3, Adam. I'm sorry. You can just tune into anything, and you can see that that's pretty much what people are asking for Caleb Williams. You know why? Because Caleb Williams ain't Bryce Young. They're asking for more. They're asking for 3 threes. That's what we're asking for. All right. Going to be fun. Going to be fun heading into next year. My kid is miserable. Because, my kid loves the Bears, but the Cowboys are his heart. My kid's a Cowboy kid. And last night, we were getting excited about the Keenan Allen thing. It was as it was breaking. And he's like, okay, check this out. And he's like showing me highlights. And then it just crushed him. He just said, he goes, I don't even want to talk about the Cowboys. I just can't even talk. He's crushed. His little heart is crushed. I'm like, you're in cap hell, dude. That's it. You know why? Look at it this way. You got a talented team. Cowboys are a talented team with a lot of talent. I mean, I know they're sort of dismantling some of the pieces, some of the line. We're going to have an issue there. But you have expensive players because for the past couple of years, you went out and paid good players. Bears haven't had a Pro Bowler in 4 years because they got rid of everybody. Roquan, Robert Quinn, Khalil Mack, Allen Robbins, everybody. Matt Forte. I just said Matt Forte. Marshall. David Marshall. David Montgomery. They tore the team down. We had nothing. That's why they were so bad. The Cowboys are talented. They've got a lot of talent on this team. So let's roll. Now or never. All in, Cowboys. Salary cap hell, oh boy. got your long snapper back. My kid thought that was funny. He's like, that's it. That's the move we made. We brought our long snapper back. Fantastic. Adam says it's not a shock, but their big issue is they wait too long to sign the players. He says this is in regard to Cowboys do nothing in free agency every year. Dak, Lawrence, Martin, list goes on. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, but they do pay and they pay. Look, I know that it's hard for you as a Cowboy fan to really put yourself in the place of, say, I don't know, a Cleveland Brown fan or a Minnesota Viking fan, you know, or a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. You understand all these other fans for years have been looking at the Cowboys with their greatest stadium, with their big superstar players, with their famous girlfriends hanging out with their superstar players. The Cowboys are a luxury team, and they've always been a luxury team, and I think you people take it for granted. CeeDee Lamb, you pull that guy out of the draft, and all of a sudden he's another on his way to being a legendary 88. You guys get lucky. You pick quarterbacks off the quarterback tree. Tony fucking Romo, Dak Prescott, and look, I know they suck. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Ask a Chicago Bear fan if he'd trade everything in those years for both of those guys, and they would. The Jets would. There are a million teams that just have quarterback problems. Cowboys aren't one of them teams. Cowboys, I don't know if it's their scouting or what it is, but the Cowboys are a luxury brand, and they're in money problems now because they should have won last year. Last year should have been the year, right? And then you tear down, renegotiate contracts, and try and build back up for another run the way Kansas City did. But no, man, they're bloated, they're expensive, but they're talented. The Cowboys are a talented team. So this is the speech I gave my son. So I'm like, stop hating on your team. Stop being upset. Roll with the boys you got. The new season is coming. Let's go. So that's where my little 14-year-old's head, or at least I tried to get his head there for the Cowboys. All right, that's it. What else do we got? Here's a story. St. Patrick's Day is this weekend. I love St. Patrick's Day, although I won't be doing anything this St. Patrick's Day. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God, a week with my kid? Kids are so expensive, man. Jesus, it's nuts. I mean, I got to go grocery shopping because he wiped this place out of food. And after grocery shopping, you know, your boy's going to be on a budget for a little bit. That's fine. We'll be fine. But my point is this, I ain't going to do anything for St. Patrick's Day. Besides, at this age, look, I've done everything there is to do on St. Patrick's Day. Hell, I even met a wife on St. Patrick's Day. I've done it all. I've had all the St. Patrick's experiences. I've been to Ireland on St. Patrick's Day. I've thrown down with those people on their day. So, and I'm 100% Irish. So I've done it all. I don't really drink that much anymore. Now it's just me getting mad at a bunch of young drunks. So I won't be doing anything on St. Patrick's Day. But there was a story here about where is St. Patrick's Day a national holiday? Is it truly? Like, you know, people will say, of course it is, because there's Irish everywhere. But a list of places that celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And a lot of these places, like some small towns and, you know, all of that, like Savannah, Georgia is very well known for their St. Patrick's Day parade and festival, right? Savannah, Georgia, a little town. There's a place in New Jersey that's really famous for it. The south side of Chicago has the largest Irish St. Patrick's Day parade in America. It's bigger than the official city of Chicago one that happens downtown. The Irish neighborhoods on the south side, they do a big one. So there are a whole bunch of little, but is it really, when I moved down here to Dallas, I was like, they're going to do, I know they got the Cinco de Mayo thing here, which incidentally, we didn't have Cinco de Mayo in the Midwest. Not until recently. I mean, within the last 20 years, I think it started to become a thing. But growing up, there was no Cinco de Mayo. Nobody recognized that. And then I come down here and I'm like, okay, it's a big thing down here. 3 biggest cities in the United States where St. Patrick's Day is celebrated the most. Do you have a guess? Do you have a guess what the biggest cities in America for St. Patrick's Day is? Well, number 1 out of the blocks, my city, Chicago. We do it big. A lot of Irish in Chicago. It's just lousy with Irish. They dye the river green. It's a huge thing. They got 2 massive parades, the official one, the downtown one, and then the one that's on the south side, which is bigger than the downtown one. But more raucous too, wilder. I mean, this is where you get hit in the face with a can of beer that was thrown from the other side of the street. That's what the South Side Parade is. It's crazy. Let's see. Chicago, one of the most famous St. Patrick's Day cities is Chicago. One of the main attractions hosted by the city is the dyeing of the River Green. Okay, nobody cares about that. Number 2, the most Irish city in America. Come on. Look no further than their NBA team, Boston. Oh, yeah. Boston Irish. Boston Irish are a thing. That's for real. Known as the most Irish city in the United States. More than a fifth of Boston's residents are of Irish descent. And that is reflected in their St. Patrick's Day celebration. All right. And number 3, no surprise, New York. New York. It's the old American big cities. You know, before this is old. These are all old big cities. Parade lovers rejoice as the Big Apple is home to one of the country's largest St. Patty's Day parades. The city has hosted St. Patrick's Day's parade since 1762. Cool for you guys. Hey, is our Greenville parade, is that Saturday or was it last Saturday? Did you guys know? It'd I'm not going. I just said that I'm not going, but it's not too far from where I am. It'd be good for me to just know to avoid that part of town for a couple of hours tomorrow. God, St. Patrick's Day. I've been to some crazy Greenville St. Patrick's Day parades. I remember I went to, there was one where the Toadies were playing. Did the Toadies always play? I know they play sometimes. Anyway, the Toadies were playing and I was introducing them on stage. Like, are you ready? That whole thing. And I remember the parade council rented them a suite at the hotel. There's a hotel that's right there. It's a nice hotel. They rented them a suite at the hotel to serve as their green room and all that stuff. And they just threw a party, a raging party in that. That was awesome. That was so much fun. After the parade, it's like, where are they going? Well, we're going back. We got this room for the night. And it was like a chain of suites, and it, like almost an entire floor. It was like, all right, we party in here. That was fun. That was a good St. Patrick's Day. I was blackout drunk for that because I was trying to impress, the Toadies. Like I was partying. They were partying. Taz Bentley, who was not in the Toadies, he was in Burden Brothers and Horton Heat and all that. But he started challenging me to like whiskey drinking, and I got out of hand really quick. Well, I love those guys. I think that's when I decided that I had a crush on Vaden's wife, Beth. I had a crush on her, fleeting crush. She was so cool. She was just such a cool chick. She's like she's a hot blonde, but then you see she's got like a full sleeve tattoo, like a hot blonde with a full, I don't know. I just thought that was very attractive. And it's okay for me to say this. And I can still be friends with Vaden because they're divorced and I'm still friendly with her as well. And they seem like they're, perfectly divorced, happily divorced, which is how I would say it. Any other St. Patrick's Day memories? Yeah, fighting Eric Mark in the parking lot of Live 105.3 after another day long. I don't know how this started, but Eric Mark and I were shit-faced drunk, and we just decided to brawl. And we were legitimately throwing punches at each other while laughing the whole time. There wasn't an ounce of anger in it. But we were in the parking lot. It was the end of the night, and I think I shoved him, and then he shoved me back, and I was like, you shoved me, you're my intern! And I threw like a haymaker at him. And then he tackled me, and then we're rolling around, and then we get back up, and we were throwing. It was funny. We were literally landing blows on each other, and we were so drunk and laughing the whole time. That's St. Patrick's Day. That's how you end a St. Patrick's Day. Dude, if you didn't end St. Patrick's Day in cuffs or in the ER, you should have tried harder. All right, we're out of stuff to talk about today. We got this. Let's run through this. What do you say? Let's run through this. I thought this was interesting. Every day I put the show together and I have a couple of things. I'm like, well, if we run short, we can lean on this. We didn't run short. We just did the show in 2 different parts. Jesus, it's already 4:14. Hokey schmokels. 4:20 on St. Patrick's Day weekend. Does that have any relevance? Is that a thing? Probably will be. Not for me, but for somebody else. I wish it was for me. But I can't, Not that I have any moral objection to getting high today at 4:20, because as I said, my thumbs don't work and I really just want to, try and hide under a rock until my thumbs start working again. I don't have any moral objection to it. It's just that I live in a state where marijuana is illegal. Although I can go and I can get some hemp stuff, but that's money. Don't even take that. No, I shouldn't have said that. Let's see here. So here's a list of things. 15 things that people mistakenly think are real, but are not. Okay, so these are things. Let's run through this list. These are things that people think are real, but in fact are not real. All right, let's see. Okay, here's one. Okay, legal disclaimers on your profile page. They don't carry any legal weight. They've been tested hundreds and hundreds of times. They carry no. So, I don't know what that means. I'm not even worried about that. But how about this one? Medical advice on social media is meaningful. That's not true. There's no medical advice on social media is not meaningful no matter what people think. Here's one. I love this one because I watch a lot of YouTube videos where people, give cops shit for just cops being cops. You were speeding, I pulled you over, but I'm a sovereign citizen. You always get these guys. Yeah, that's not a thing. It's a thing that dumb people think is a thing, but it's not really a thing. Somebody watched a YouTube video once about 20 years ago where some idiot misled everyone into thinking you can just claim sovereign citizenship and the cops have to let you go. Guess what? That ain't true. That ain't even remotely true. And yet there's a whole bunch of idiots. YouTube is filled with them. A whole bunch of idiots out there claiming, I don't have to give you my driver's license and I'm just going to leave because I am a sovereign citizen. What the fuck? I love that one. Flushable. People think flushable wipes, like baby wipes and stuff. People think that they're okay for your plumbing and that you can flush them down your toilet. Apparently you can't. Apparently it says right there, do not flush these, but people do anyway. How about this one? Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, now where's Jeff Ballard? Oh, we don't have Jeff Ballard. Well, that's okay. Maybe some of you, I don't know, is Texas it's different. Texas, Longhorns. You have Longhorns, that's different. So I don't know, maybe it's possible. But in the Midwest, this is something that you fool city slickers with, okay? Everybody believes that cow tipping is possible. It's not. There's no such thing as cow tipping. It's like when people move to Texas and they say, we should take you on a snipe hunt. It's like a bit that you play with people. Same thing in the Midwest. There's no such thing as cow tipping, okay? It's just a thing that we tell people, dummies, hey, see that cow? Go tip it over. What do you mean tip it over? Well, they stand sleeping up. So if you run into them, they'll just tip over. They won't. It's like you're running into a brick wall. You try and hit a cow, and then it's going to kick you in the face. It's so dumb. People think it's possible. It's really not. All right, cow tipping. People think cow tipping is possible. It is not. It is a joke. Maybe if the cow died in a standing position, it might work. Otherwise, trying to push over an animal that weighs several hundred pounds sounds like a good way to get kicked, trampled, or a broken shoulder. Yeah. People, you got to wait 30 minutes to go swimming after you eat. You know that one? That's a big one. Yeah, they say, no, that ain't true. That ain't true at all. That was something people started saying in the 1800s, but really, just finish your meal and your body begins processing it. It's not, wasn't the fear you jump in the pool after a hot dog and you'll get a cramp and you'll die? It never happened. That never happened to anybody, but every mom in America has said that. Wait 30 minutes before going in the pool. You don't have to. Entering a higher, here's something people believe that is absolutely not true. Entering a higher tax bracket results in net income loss. See, I love that. I've heard this one too. This is one that, well, he doesn't want to be in the higher tax. What? So what? He's going to end up losing more money in taxes. Well, okay, so yeah, if he's a rich guy who doesn't have a tax attorney, he's going to do that. You do it yourself, yeah, but you don't judge simply because you enter a higher tax bracket doesn't mean that only your tax goes up. No, your income goes up, which is why you've moved into a new. I don't know. People are always looking for something to complain about. Not true. Entering a higher tax bracket doesn't. I'm not gonna say it. Let's see what else. Public school classrooms have litter boxes in them. Okay. Remember that? This was going around a couple of months ago. Where all of you like weirdo far right people. Every public school in America has to have a litter box because what if a kid thinks he's a pussycat? Come on, stop it. So stupid. And the origin of that thing was traced, and it was, of course, repeated on a major platform, probably Fox News, but there was no validity to it, and it's been disproven a million times. This conspiracy theory appeared in the past couple of years. Supposedly, schools are providing litter boxes for children who identify as furries and need to take care of their business in the classroom. Interestingly, there's never been any proof of this preposterous idea, despite a flood of well-publicized allegations. Detox diets work. Well, I don't know. They say that's not true. They say, stop thinking detox diets work. They don't. They detox you, but they don't make you lose weight. That's what it says here. Oh, this was another one. This was big when I was little, but I haven't heard this in years and years. The idea, the rumor, the story that Mr. Rogers, won't you be my neighbor? The story that Mr. Rogers wore sweaters to hide his full sleeve Vietnam battle tattoos. Remember that? Oh, that was a great story before the internet. Oh my God. You know, Fred Rogers was a sniper in Nam and he got 50 confirmed kills. The dude's a maniac. Not even remotely true. Not even remotely true. Back in, say, 1992, you might find yourself in a bar fight with somebody claiming that is true. People believe that shows like Real Housewives are real. Yeah, that's kind of a weak one, right? Don't we know all of those are fake? Yeah. People believe the earth is flat. Okay, now we're into stupid shit. All right, that's it. We're done. Jesus Christ, this list just suddenly got super political. Like it's like people believe that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are deep state operatives. Looking at you, Barney. I'm kidding. I kid Barney. Another one was vaccines cause autism. I ain't going there. I don't know. True or not, whatever. Not my interest. I'm not interested in having that debate with somebody who thinks that's an important thing to debate. Let's not debate that. Let's debate what the Bears should do with the number 9 pick. Personally, I think we ought to trade back, but hey, that's me. Guys, we're done. We're done with the show. I love you. You have a great weekend. My thumbs hurt, so I'm going to have a shitty weekend because no thumb wrestling for me. Okay, I got to call 2 people. And then that's it. Then that's going to be it for me for the day. I'm going to take about 8 more ibuprofens for my broken thumbs. And I'm going to try not to touch things because I forget. You forget. We take our thumbs for granted, people. I don't know if you've ever had any. Ugh. It's like I got these 4. I can work with these 4 fingers and I can work with these 4 fingers. That's it. Everything's got to be picked up like this or when I grab, like here, you see me, I'm grabbing my soda. Okay, see, like my thumb is not really being, see how my thumb's out here? My thumb is not even being engaged. Completely ran out of steam on today's show. We're done. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed the last couple of hours. This has been a stream of consciousness from my deep recesses of my empty heart and hollow head to your lovely ears. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back on Monday. High Noon returns. Tip the show if you're down with this kind of thing. Not political, every day, over the fence post conversation. Current events driven conversation. Hot talk the way it ought to sound. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Love you. Bye.